Hello, hello, hello. Dr. Alan Harper here, your secure vibe coder. And we're going for our 8th live session, and we're doing live secure vibe coding. So glad that you joined us tonight. And drop me a hello and tell me that you're out there and where you're from. All right, so what are we up to here? Get right into it. We are building an app called User Vibes OS. This app, its purpose is to collect vibes from the user throughout the user journey lifecycle. So whether we're trying to attract or qualify or anticipate, nurture, ideate, and so forth. And we're focusing on the ideate part here, which is the feature request. It's a much needed capability that all developers of all websites need. Whether you're vibe coding or not, you need to be able to collect feature requests from your users in an easy manner. And that is the most valuable feedback that you can get, or what we call vibes from the user. All right. And so we're going to start there because I know that the competition is weak in this space. There are competitors that do each of these, but nobody's doing all of it. And we're going to do all of it eventually. But we're starting right here with the ideate. All right. Hey, 3Ds, good to see you again. All right. And so just a reminder, we have an app that has a front end. It's JavaScript. We have the ability, we have a landing page I'll show you here in a moment. They can sign up, and then when they get on the back end, they can go to their dashboard and they can enter in their API keys. And then those API keys allow them to communicate with the front end in a secure manner. Okay, we use Convex for our back end, and we're going to have user analytics, and we're going to get that feedback and that sentiment from the users. All right, so we have a to-do list over here, and we've been cooking many things. And it's getting a little shorter here, and we're going to add some more things to it. But let's just jump right into it. Just again, a quick review of the website. This is the homepage, is what it looks like. Right now, it's just on my developer laptop. And soon, probably in the next couple sessions, we'll get this up live so that you guys can bang on it. And you can give me some feedback yourself. All right. And it's just, right now it's a basic landing page. We do have the pricing capability where people can sign up for pricing, and we can collect credit cards. We have a SaaS capability. When you go into the back end, this is what the dashboard looks like. Okay, this is all fake data right now. We'll fill this in once we have something to put there. And then what the user can do is they can click on API keys. They can set up an API key that will speak to the front end component, allow them to catch those feature requests from the user. Okay, we've tested this works. Okay, and then here's the feature request itself. So a developer like yourself, maybe a vibe coder, wants to drop this into their app, and our goal is to make it a 2-minute install or less, right? And I'm going to show you in this session, we're going to test this out. Okay, so you came for a good one. This is going to be a live test of our actual widget itself, and that's the first time that we did that. Now inside of here, we can see a demo of the widget, but we're actually going to see the real thing here in a minute. Okay, so when you go into your board here, this is a Kanban board. Okay, very popular in computer applications, IT, in general, computer science. Programmers understand this. So what you'll have is this Kanban board where users will make their feature requests. They will come into the backlog here. They will be voted. They have votes on them. They also have comments on them. And then you as a developer can drag these around. And whenever you're working it, you can put it over here, or when it's under review, when it's under plan. I actually don't like the category names here. We're going to work on that later too. It's on our to-do list, is to clean these up, probably simplify them into about 4. But I want to leave it so that the user can name these boards themselves or in these panels. And again, I'm always looking for features that I know the competitors aren't doing. Right, so when it's all done, we're gonna have about 10 features that the competitors don't have, and we're gonna have them on our homepage. So we're gonna just list them out, right? Eventually, we'll have a competitors page, and we'll show how woefully lacking they all are. Okay, but I'm aiming high for this app. I want to make sure that we have, that we stack it with features, right? We want to make sure that we dunk on these guys because we want to take their customers. Okay. All right, once again, if you've joined us, drop me a hello I see 3Ds is out there, but who else is out here tonight? Tell me where you're at. Okay. So on the back end, we see the board. This is like, the Kanban board for the feature request. We also see where the comments come in, and you as an administrator then can delete these comments, and you can see the notes and everything. That's really good. Then we also see the demo itself. Right now, this is just a little demo on our back end, but we're actually going to now plug it in here tonight in a few minutes. I'm going to stamp another separate website, and we're going to actually install this widget, and we should see this exact thing over here with colors and everything. Okay, here's the embed instructions. Okay, for our user that's paying us to do this. So you as a developer, for example, you would come in and you would set up your API key, and then you would set up these boards, and then you would go install with whatever method you want. So you've made that you do an iframe or a web component or an npm package if you're using React. Okay, so most developers understand this, and what we're going to do is we're going to install this. We're actually going to use Claude Code because we're Vibe coders, and we're going to install this. It's going to be fun. Here's where those settings are, including like that pink button for the primary color. We also have a secondary color if we choose to use it. Okay, and then we see analytics. Okay, so we already have more functionality here than most of the competitors. All right, that's exciting, and we're not even done yet. We got to get some AI in here. We got to figure out for each one of these features. I want to have a little AI chat bot that maybe helps the user on the front end and come up with a meaningful feature request, like kind of tease out the details. And then if not, what we'll do is we'll have at least AI on the back end that will help the developer like maybe group these feature requests, and so that'll be kind of neat. Okay, you guys are going to see it all, right? So thanks again for joining me, and if you're new to this group, check me out in the free mentoring up there in the QR code, and inside of my free mentoring, you'll find more information about my Secure Vibe Code Masterclass and my other paid mentoring groups. If I can come alongside you and help you build your own app, then let me know, please. All right, so here we go. Let's have some fun. Let's start knocking some things off our to-do list. The first thing, this was left over from yesterday. We got an issue with large convex file. Now, you remember last time, those of you who were here, like we went out and cheated. Like we went out and got this big llms.txt file from the Convex site, which is basically this big text file that makes Claude Code smarter, right? But we had this issue that like when it loads on the default load of Claude Code, it's saying basically it's taking up too much memory, and that could impact performance. And I don't like that. Last thing we want to do is slow down our AI because it's already pretty slow, relatively speaking. All right. So what we'll do is we noticed that we had this file right here, and inside of this file, I've been thinking about this. We dumped all of this stuff here at the bottom. Let's see. We added all of this. So what we'll do is just take that out. My first trick is I'm going to try to split that into a separate file. Okay. And what I'm going to do is just put well, that wasn't smart because okay, yep, there we go. We'll just do this. We'll say convex llms.txt. Okay. Then what we got to do is we got to point to that, and inside of our Claude Code file, we need to point to that, just like we're pointing to these other things up here. Okay. So what we're going to say is C. Now this may not work. If it doesn't, then I got another trick up my sleeve. We'll put it in as a skill. Okay. So look at that. Tab complete. AI already figured that out for us, what we were trying to do. How slick is that? Okay. AI is just saving us time all over the place. All right, now here's the big question. See this error we had up here? It said that we had this large file and it may impact performance. Well, let's see now, since we have smaller files, if that goes away. Let me go all the way down here. What we'll do is we'll exit out of Claude and we'll start it up again. I like to do -- continue. because what that would do then is just keep the context going from before. Okay, and with a little luck, yeah, we got no error. We got no such error. Okay, so we fixed it. All right, now, had that been an issue, or if you run into that in the future and that doesn't fix it, maybe you have too many of those files that you're trying to put in, then what you can do is you can put it in a skill, because what the skills do is what's called progressive revelation. So it only loads in the top part of the skill. We covered that back in the second video, so I'm not going to go through it all again, but it only puts that top part into the context window, and then it pulls the rest in as it needs. Okay, so that's a pretty good trick. Okay, but we didn't have to whip that out tonight, so I'm happy about that. All right, so we knocked one off our to-do list. You can see we move pretty quick in this project, thanks to AI. Okay, so now let's test and debug the rest of this prototype, installing it on another web page. Okay, it's about to get real, folks. It's about to get real. Are you ready for this? Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to come over here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start up another terminal. I'm going to drop back a directory. And I'm going to make up a folder. I'm going to call it, no, I'm actually going to do it from here. Let's see, in here. If we wanted to build a new Next.js app, and we just want the basic shell of that app, just bare bones, what are the command sequence to do that? And also I need to know if I need to create a folder for that, or if it will create the folder as part of the process. Okay, so I use this little tool called Super Whisper. Allows me to talk to the LLM. And this is like next level vibe coding, because we can actually speak these apps into existence. All right. Those of you who've been with me know that we've only put maybe 15 prompts into this thing over the last 8 sessions. It's not a lot of prompting if you use the right tools. That's why I like Claude Code, right? It's the weapon of choice. Believe me, had we been using another one, we'd be like, twice as many prompts and lots of issues. I've been there, done that. Okay, so here's the instructions. I just want you to see how you could figure this out. I've done this before, but I don't remember all of them in sequence, so it's always good to check. Okay, so what we can do is we can just type this command, and it will walk us through the, okay, that's the project name becomes the folder name. That's what I thought. And then we can just do default settings all the way through. Okay, if we wanted a bare minimum interaction, bare bones, we could just do this as well. Okay, that's interesting. Replace my app with your desired project name. Huh, that's interesting. I'll tell you what, let's just do that. Okay. Okay. Foobar. Nah. Test site A. Okay. And then what we'll do is go back to the rest of that command. Let's see. I've never done it this way. Let's try it. Okay. Need to install the following packages. Okay. Okay, would you like to use a React compiler? I don't know. What is this? It is asking me if I want to use a React compiler. What is that? Automatically re-renders without you needing use memo. You should use it for bare bones. No, it says no, you shouldn't. Okay, it's still experimental. Nah. Okay. So we'll just leave the default in here. No. Would you like to customize the import alias? No. Okay, there it is. It's installing. Okay, it's doing its thing. Let's just take a moment. And what we're going to get here is a web page that we can just play with. Like this is like what a real developer would do, right? Like so they would come in and they would install Next.js and then they'd start, coding or vibe coding, right? But we know better because we're going to, like, for our main app, we're using the secure vibe code OS that I set up for you guys. And that allows you to jumpstart, the whole process. So I'd already installed like all this Next.js stuff for you, so you never have to do this. You just pull it down from GitHub and you're ready to go. Okay, so I think we can go into this now. Test site A, and we can just run npm run dev. Okay, so that gives us, it's running now on this port. I'm going to hold down the command key and hit that link. And we should just get a very basic app. Okay, yeah, so there we go. We have a very basic app here. Okay, so this is what you get out of the box, and you'd have to do all the rest of the stuff yourself, okay? So now that we have that, what we'll do is back in that directory, check this out. What we'll do is we'll go back in there, and actually, I know better. Hold on. We'll stop this. And we'll say, give me a new windsurf right here. I do windsurf space dot. Okay. What that does is brings up another windsurf. Now, set this one up, hit Control Shift tilde, and that gives me a terminal. Okay. You can also just hit this terminal button right here, toggle panel. Then I'd like to click in here and go Command plus a couple times so that you guys can see it. I'm getting kind of old. My eyes can't see those small fonts anymore. Looking at screens my whole life. Okay, so we'll go ahead and I'll just make this one full screen just for now. Okay, so now what that did was that gave us Windsurf running in that new directory. Okay, this is that new app. Now inside of here we can say npm run dev and launch it back up again. And we can also open up another terminal. And what we can do is we can call Claude in here. Hello, Claude. Okay. Now this is Claude. It doesn't have like all the security skills and all that stuff, right? This is just bare bones Claude. That's all we need. All right. So now check this out. What we're going to do is go back to our app. Go back and refresh this. Okay. Then what we're going to do is go back to our app. So the new app's over here. Okay. But we're going to go over to our app and we're going to hit the embed instructions, and we're going to just use the first one right here. Okay. And so what we're going to do is copy that. I'm also could just hit the clipboard over here, copy it, right? And then what we're going to do is come back to Claude Code over here in that new directory, and we're going to say, hey, I want to install the following iframe right there on this basic homepage for this app because I'm doing some testing. Hit space and then Control V. No, I thought that was going to happen. See, what happens there is when I'm talking, it basically fills up the clipboard. So I'm going to have to copy that again. I want to put the following iframe on my homepage just for some testing and do just that. Okay. And now what I have to do is go pick it up on the clipboard again. Copy that in. There. So I just gave that to Claude Code and say, just handle this. I don't know what to do with it. I mean, truthfully, I know what to do with it, but I know you guys don't. So I just want to show you the process, right? Like, we're vibe coders here, right? So like, I'm not trying to teach you to be a developer. I'm trying to teach you to be a secure vibe coder. Okay, so it did it for us. It put it in this file. That's all we need to know is it put it on this is the home page. Basically, it's the only page that's on this website. Okay, so it's asking us if we want to do that, and we say, yeah, go ahead and do that. Okay. All right, so put it in. Now let's go back to our page here, and with the fingers crossed, look at that. Look at that. We have our demo is now actually live on another web app. How cool is this, guys? We are less than 10 hours into this project. We have a functioning product that we could sell right now today if we had customers. Now we got to very soon. We need to go find some customers, right? But how cool is that? How cool is that? What is your experience with cybersecurity? Oh, hey, good question, Madre. Hey, my name is Dr. Alan Harper. I've been in cybersecurity for 36 years, well before they even called it cyber. Okay, so I learned it in the Marine Corps in the U.S., and I've been developing since I was a kid, like 40 some years. But I learned it specifically in the Marine Corps. Also, I have a master's degree in computer science with specialty in cybersecurity. I also have a PhD in IT, specialty in cybersecurity. So I've been doing it for 36 years, actually a little more than that. And I've done all aspects of cyber, all aspects. I've written 7 books on cybersecurity. You can check me out, okay? Go Google me. And so I know what I'm talking about. And I'm here to help you guys do vibe coding securely. Nobody else is out there talking about that. There's lots of people talking about vibe coding. You've seen the channels, but nobody's talking about the security aspects of it. And so that's what we're going to do so much better. But to do that, I'm demonstrating it on a real world app that we're building called User Vibes OS. And, go back and check some of the other videos, particularly the second one, and you'll see a lot about that. All right, so look at this. Look at this, 3Ds. We have an app. We have our app working. We have our widget. This is the widget we dropped in. Now what I could do is tell it to get rid of the other stuff on the page. Get rid of the other stuff on the page. I just want our widget to show up. Hey, thanks for that question, though. I really appreciate it. Where are you from? Okay, it says it cleaned it up. Okay, we're vibe coding here, folks. Look at that. It cleaned it up all right. Okay, so this is another separate web page. Notice the 3002 here. This is what a developer would do. This is what our customer would do. Okay, they would come in and they would drop this into their app in less than 2 minutes. That was our goal. That was the promise I made to you. And I just fulfilled it. Okay, and we're just getting started, guys. We've been doing this less than 10 hours. We have a secure app. Okay, we still need to test it and such, but we know we baked the security in. You guys saw me do that, right? We used a secure framework that I built called the Secure Vibe Code OS. You can find it out on GitHub. It's free, okay? And what we did was we built on top of that, and that gave us a SaaS app that was secure in the top 1% of apps out there, right outside the box. Now it's our job to make sure that we don't open up any new vulnerabilities as we go, right? And so what we did was we built on that, and very quickly we built an API page, and then we built this feature request capability. And now look, it's actually working. Like, right? This isn't just vaporware that that we're talking about. No, this is functioning code. Okay? Functioning code. How cool is that? Give me a thumbs up or something, man. Actually, we need to pat Claude Code on the back. It is the weapon of choice. Believe me, it is the GT3 RS, the Porsche GT3 RS. That's Claude Code. Okay, so you can mess around with the Toyota if you want, or you can just go get the Porsche GT3 RS, the killer, right? So that's what we have here. It's a weapon. All right, and I'm so proud of the fact that we were in less than 30 seconds or whatever, Claude Code was able to go ahead and throw this in. All we did was copy pasted it over. Now let's look at the other modes of installation. Okay, we might run into some snags here. Maybe not. We'll see. Okay, so we know that this one works. Check. Okay, well, let's go ahead and put the roadmap in too. Because remember, we also wanted the user to get a read-only version of a roadmap. We wanted them to be able to install that on their end as well. So let's look at that. Below that, give some white space, then install this second widget. Now this should give us a nice clean roadmap of all the submitted feature requests of our users. And what a developer would do is maybe put this on another page, or maybe they just put it at the bottom of the feature request like this one is, or maybe they put it on a separate tab. I don't know. Okay, all right, so here we go. Both widgets are now displayed on your home page. Okay, let's see. Sweet. Okay, so right here we have the first widget. These little things here are just because we're in a dev environment, so you can ignore those. Those like give us features like, you know, the ability to do debugging and stuff like that. Okay, so there it is. We have the roadmap down here, and it's read-only, so they can't mess with it. Because remember, we only want the administrators to be able to move these. Now, okay, check this out, guys. Check this out now. Here's the magic test. I'm going to move this on the back end, and we want to see if it moves on the front end. Okay, I expect it to. If it doesn't, we got a bug. Okay, so let's go up here to demo, and let's move it. Okay, no, wait a second. That's not right. Oh, we do it back here. Okay, now let's go over to our page. Touchdown. Did you see that? The reason why that works so fast and so real time is because we're using Convex on the back end. I think somebody, 3Ds or somebody asked yesterday, no, it was somebody else was asking the scalability and such of Convex. Look at this, man. That's real-time database update. That's in the cloud, by the way. Like, so all that happened like instantly. And we don't have to like synchronize that. We don't have to, because like if we were using Postgres or something else, like a traditional database like Mongo, we would have to synchronize that. We'd have to pull, or we'd have to, you know, query that database on a periodic basis, or we'd have to set up some queuing, some messaging and queuing. It's a mess. We don't have to do any of that. That's why Convex is my favorite database right now going forward. It's also more secure than those other ones. We've talked about that. Okay, man, look at that. Immediate feedback. That is so impressive. All right, so let's keep going. All right, we're not done yet. We installed these two. Let's install the web component version of it. This is a different version, okay? This is not using iframe, okay? Now what we'll do is we'll tell it to, we'll just tell it to put it below those two. Okay. Below that one, add this web component format. It'll know what to do with that. That's why I'm using Claude Code. You know, again, I could have went in and opened up the file and put it in the right place, but I would have lost you guys, right? Because you're not developers. I'm not trying to make you developers. Yeah, hey, what do you think about that, 3Ds? Like Convex is awesome. Oh, it looks like I lost you guys for a second. I'm back though. All right. Let's see what we got. Did it install? Uh-oh. It didn't like that. Okay, all right. We got a bug now. Let's find out what's going on. We got a 404 page cannot be found. Let me just screenshot that. For that last one, I got a 404, which means page not found error. And I'll paste that in so it can see it. Claude Code has a vision model in it, so you can copy paste screenshots in, and that's very convenient because it can look at it like we can and say, yeah, that's not right. Okay, now there might be an issue with our backend route or something, but it'll figure it out. I'm confident. Okay, it says that they've removed the web component section since the script doesn't exist. Oh, why doesn't it exist? It should. The page now shows just 2 working iframes. If you want to add the web component, you need to verify the correct script path. Oh, okay. All right, so now what I need to do is I need to go over to my other Claude Code and tell it what's going on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this stuff here. Let's see. Okay, Added a second widget. Okay. I'm gonna tell the other Claude Code what this one did. I'm copying all of this, and I'm gonna come over to my other Claude Code, and because there's something that's broke here. This is interesting. Got to have a little bit of drama, huh? Just make sure I'm in the right spot. Okay. Yeah. All right. And bingo bango. We'll do it right. Do it up right here. This is the one that it has the context of what we're trying to do. Okay. Pushed all of that to origin. Hold on a second. It's not the right one. Still experimental. Ah, here it is. I didn't mean to put that voice on because now I'm gonna have to go copy it again, but that's okay. Okay, I installed the iframes. They work well. Now I'm trying to install the web component, and I'm getting a 404 error. I'm going to copy paste below the error and the messaging from my other Claude instance, so that you can see what's going on. It appears that the script that it's calling does not exist. So figure that out. Okay, so now let me go back over and pick up this again. Copy and give it a new line. Okay. All right, so I just pasted all that in. Now let it cook. This is how you debug with AI. You don't have to write any code. You don't have to go read any code. It's smarter than you. You just got to know how to talk to it. Okay, it says the file does exist, but let's check some other things and see what's going on here. You know, I just noticed something. I don't think we're using API key. So, yeah, that's not secure. So we're going to need to fix that. That's okay. Let's get this thing working first. Okay. There's a static conflict. There's a route conflict. You have an API route at, okay, this creates a dynamic route which takes precedence over other static files. Okay. When you try to access this, it matches the app first route. Solutions, pick one. This is the recommended one. Move the static files. Okay. Yeah, okay. The other one is rename the app route. Nah, let's do approach one. Do approach one. Three Ds. Had you used Postgres before, or Mongo, or like what was your favorite database before Convex? Okay, it's asking us to move some things and stuff, and since I restarted this session, I have to give it permissions again. So I always give it the number 2 option, which is like, yeah, don't ask me again. Just do it. Okay, it's asking if you want to remove like the unused directories. Yes. Okay. Hey guys, who else joined us? Where are you guys from? Drop me a comment. Okay, it's asking, do you want to make this edit to the embed instructions? Yes. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's legit. 3Ds. You're a real developer. I've used both too. I always preferred Mongo. Postgres just overcomplicates things with all those migration files and using Prisma and all that stuff. Like, it's not necessary. And Mongo was much simpler, and that was my weapon of choice until I found Convex. And now you don't have to mess with any of that stuff. You don't need to mess with setting up like any of those routes, any of those API routes. You notice we haven't, done a route at all. It's all within the Convex folder. If you're curious, check it out on your own build. But all the database stuff resides in here, and all the routes are generated automatically off of the schema files and stuff that are in here. But you see, like, there's no app router API stuff. Like, this stuff here is all of our security stuff, right? But it's not any database stuff, which is like impressive. Like, normally by now we would have like a dozen API routes, and then you have to keep track of them and secure each one of them and stuff. It's a pain. But all that's now just taken care of by Convex, so I appreciate that. Okay, so it says it's done. All right, now let's go ahead and put this new one in, and we'll come back and hit the API part of it. Okay, let's see. Control C. Okay, now add this web component. That's pointing to server 3000 or port 3000, which is our main server. Hey guys, where are you from? I see we have other people in the thread here or on the stream. Drop me a comment. Let me know where you're from. Okay, it says it did it. Let's go look at it. Okay, I'm still getting this 404 error. Why is that? Okay, here's a trick that we can do. We can just go ahead and test this widget ourselves and just see if it comes up. No, it's not. It should be a public folder, I thought. But anyway, let's see what happens. Let's just go to this. Yeah, there's the file. It actually does come up. Okay, what's going on here, guys? I still get a 404 error, but if I test this URL, it works. So what is up with that? I'm not worried. It'll figure it out. Okay, I need to understand what's happening. Can you clarify? Where are you testing this? Are you testing this in a main or a new? Okay, it's a new one. All right. Let's see what else is asking. What URL works when you test it directly? Where do you see the 404 error? Okay, we've set up a new Next.js app and went ahead and copy pasted in that script that you gave me, and I get a 404 error when it renders the page. Now I do notice that if I click on the URL that includes the widget-assets, then that JavaScript file comes up in my browser. So just manually clicking that source URL, I can see the JavaScript load. So I know that the page should be there. Yeah, I guess that's much faster in typing. Plus you guys don't have to listen to me type and talk at the same time. Okay. Can you tell me what ports each app? Okay. The test app is on 3002, and the of course your main app is on 3000, just like the URL states. Okay, What else is it asking up here? Point to the user vibe OS app, quick test. Use the full URL. So your test app is on 2000 or 3002. Yep. The script tag should point to which it does. The issue is likely the Next.js script command. When loading from a different origin, different port, different origin, the script component can have issues. Let me see what you currently have in your test app. Okay, hold on. To see the code of the test app, go back one directory and then look at the test-site-a directory. I gave you the directory. Just go ahead and CD into that directory. There, it's going to now go read that other folder directly and quit asking me questions. I wonder if the issue could be that we're already rendering a couple things on that page, but I don't think that should matter. I really don't. Okay, it'll get to the bottom of it here. I want to make, do you want to make this edit to that page? Okay, so wait a second, what was the issue? I see the problem. You're using Next.js' script component to load from a different origin port. This can cause issues. Replace the script with a regular script, which would be, it's using this, right? It's going to change it from the red to the green. Let's see what it's changing. Strategy before interactive is what it's adding. Okay, well, let's see. Let's see what it does. Okay, let's try looking at that page again. Make sure we have 1, 2, 3. Yep, still getting that error. I wonder if this is some kind of security related thing. You still want to proceed. Okay, I've added. If this still gives the error, try this alternative approach. Move the script to the document level. I'm still getting the 404 error. Go ahead and move it to the document level to test it. Yeah, I see that 3Ds. It said originally it could be a routing issue, but what it's doing here is it moved it so that it's not conflicting, so that it wouldn't be a routing issue, an app routing issue. Well, let's see. Let's let it keep trying. All right. Do you want to proceed? Do you want to read this file? Yes. Go ahead and read any file over there. Okay, so what it's going to do now is put up the document level. So in this, it does it in what's called a layout file, and it's going to put it up in the header of the file. So let's see what happens here. And what that'll do is that'll probably move the component to the top of the screen. Let's go let it test. Okay, done. I've moved the script tag to the document level. Okay. Okay. And We're still seeing it. Share your ideas. Okay. Wait. Look there. I'm noticing that third one. Okay. Check your browser's network tab and see exactly what URL it's trying to fetch. That'll help us debug further. Okay. We'll go in, right click here and say inspect, and we'll go to network. And what we'll do is we'll see where it's trying to go. And what we'll do is refresh here, and what we should see, if I can get a hold of this thing. Come on. No. Oh, I know what it was. I had a filter on. Okay. And what we're looking for is, what was this JavaScript called? It's called widget.js. So we should just be able to filter on that. Okay. So here we're seeing a 304. Okay, so this is interesting. What is this right here? Get. And then what it's trying to do. Okay, hold on a second. It's getting a 304. And so that's a redirect. That's probably something to do with some security setting that we have on our side, or some routing issue like 3Ds was saying. But let's just see if there's an easy way to, I think there's an easy way to copy these out of here. I really don't. Hold on a second. 200s. These were those other ones that we were getting. And I have the feeling that this is our clue right here. So let me just send some of these over there. And I don't like the looks of this one either. I wonder if that's our 404 right there. Okay, yep. That's the actual 404. And it's trying to go to its own self. Yeah. Somehow it's trying to go to its own self, which that widget doesn't exist on its own port. Okay. Now it says I need to rebuild the widget with these changes. Yeah, but why would it try to go to itself? Base URL. See, it didn't have this before. Okay. It didn't have this base URL, so the way JavaScript was working is it was going to then do it locally. Okay. All right, let's see what happens now. I think that's why we were getting that 302, by the way. Okay, let's just see. That looks better. Okay, hold on, let me get rid of all this. Yep, that's what it was. Okay, so now what we need to do is tell it to clean up. Okay, now clean up all the code and also fix the instructions for the user. Now, what we have to do is get that API key working in there before we rest. Doesn't look like we're going to get to the npm part of the install. We'll do that tomorrow. Okay, so now it's fixing up the usage documentation. Now I noticed that neither the iframe or the web components are using the API key. Fix that. Put that in the instructions. Go ahead. We already know the API for these particular boards because they have to select the key. But I want you to go ahead and fix that and give add instructions for the actual user to add the API key secretly to their environmental variable. Okay, so I do not want you to hardwire it. I want them to be able to put it in an environmental variable, and for them to be able then to pull it dynamically and send it to us securely. Okay, and let me just confirm my suspicion. I think I was correct on that. Let's go back here and look here in the embed. And yeah, see, there's nothing here about the API key. Okay, not good. Now, by the way, this is what Vibe coders would normally do. They just run with something like this, right? But we know better. Like, we need an API key in order to securely connect back in. First of all, we need to be able to tell these users from each other, right? And otherwise, they would be able to see each other's files. Like, okay. Okay, it's adding the instructions to the user. I saw some of those go flying by. Tells them to put that API key in their environmental variable, so you can see it right up here. Okay, that's all cool. Okay. And what should be happening is our back-end page here, the embed page, should be getting better. Yeah, right here. See the API key stuff. Okay. All right, so it did that one. It didn't fix this one yet. Okay, no, wait a second. Yeah, why would it do this one at all? No, we don't want it to ever come without the API key. All right. That's all right. We'll let it finish cooking and then we'll correct it. See, it ran this build right here. I don't like that. So what I'm going to tell it in the Claude code or in the Claude file is don't do that. I want to run my own builds. The reason why I don't want it to do it is because it'll mess up all of the node modules. Do not run I will do that manually. Okay, that's best practice. Because, like I said, it'll mess up your cache, and then you'll be getting all these errors, and you're like, So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to go. I can tell you right now, I'm going to restart this server because we're going to start getting errors. You start to get weird errors. You don't know where they're coming from. Okay. Okay, cleared the warnings, blah, 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 static HTML sites without API key. No. No, we do not want any access to our boards or our widgets at all without an API key. Clean that up, make it more secure, make sure that we always use the API key. Yeah, could Clerk also provide a user ID and auth? Yeah, that's possible. But what I typically don't want to do is keep in mind, not in this particular case. Now that I think about it, 3Ds, because our clerk username and password and session object IDs and stuff are on our back end, and we never want to push those out to the client on the front end, right? So what happens is the use case here is like one of our customers come, they pay $19 a month to get this feature request capability from us. They drop these feature requests into their websites out there, dozens of them. Right. We don't want our credentials or their credentials sitting out there or doing anything or logging in out there or anything like that. That's what API keys are for. Okay. Good question though. And again, this is why we do this stuff. Like, this is the secure way to do it. Okay. Like you saw right there out of the box, it was just happy to go ahead and expose it. Like, that's insecure, man. That's how you get hacked. Right. So pro tip, always use API keys to protect your back-end resources. Okay, never just leave that stuff open for public access. Okay, it's doing a lot of writing. Let's see what it's looking like on the back end here. Okay, still hasn't updated this one. I expected to get rid of this because I only want to see the secure stuff. Hey, by the way, 3Ds, I think you said, hey, dark mode would be cool, right? Check that out. Dark mode, batteries included, man. Quick toggle. That came with our Secure Vibe Code OS framework that we used. I was thinking about that the other day. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Still updating instructions. To always include the API key. Yep, that's what I want to see. It's thinking about it. Okay, hold on a second. It says it's done. It's not. Maybe I need to refresh. I doubt it. Should have automatically updated. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I just need to refresh. API key required. Okay, all widgets require authentication. Store your API key in environmental local and use server-side rendering only, like Remix or Next.js, etc. Not compatible with static HTML sites. Good. Okay. Good. Yeah, that's fine. It's putting it on the URL. That's fine though. Okay, that works. Okay, widget URL. Okay, direct link to your widget. Yeah, I don't know about that. At the bottom of the instructions page for the web component, we say this. Okay, stop. I keep stepping on my screenshots. I'm not used to doing the voice stuff. And that too should have a placeholder for the API key. In fact, I want you to go ahead and remove that because we don't want them calling in a browser just the API key like that. Try to protect the user from themselves. Much more secure to put it in the actual code and actually pull it from environmental variables dynamically. Okay. All right, that's the iframe page. That's the widget page. Yeah, okay. All right, so it pulled that off. Okay, good. All right, so we are out of time. I think we're in good shape. We'll continue this testing tomorrow. What I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm going to go through and I'm going to install these again with the API keys now. And we'll test it again out tomorrow and make sure all of that's working. I suspect we'll probably have to debug it some more, but that's cool. All right, so again, we're only now about 9 hours into this project. We have basically a functioning front end and back end. We're just working through some details, making sure that it's using the API key, making sure that we're doing it securely. And, we're making great progress. Like you said, 3Ds, appreciate it. Thanks for coming. And until next time, you guys be blessed by the best and take care out there.